right, guys, welcome back to another episode. I'm Virgil, and this is Dr. Haggard, and I got one thing to say. We might have made a slight little oopsie-doopsie, but we're going to fix it right now, Jesse, right?
We forgot to mention the exceptions on the last episode, which was a great episode. I hope you all check into it.
Yes.
It's a great episode. I think we covered a lot of the main things, and I generalized, I think for 99% of the people taking GLP-1s for weight loss, definitely, diabetes and weight loss, slightly different, but just in general, I did forget one slight exception. GLP-1s can be amazing long-term, not short-term. I said short-term, like learning tool, long-term crutch kind of thing. But then there's categories of medications that just make you hungry.
Yeah.
You've heard of these, I'm sure.
Of course.
Yeah. So you have your psychotic medications, antidepressants, mood stabilizers, pain medications, corticosteroids. They just make you hungry. And, and like the typical dogma you're taught in medical school is you say, okay, I'm going to give you prednisone because you have like this crazy back pain or this injury or whatever. And then eat less. But this medication makes you hungry.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy makes you hungry. It's not uncommon for people to gain 10, 15, even 20 pounds in a month on prednisone. So can GLP-1s offset that? Absolutely. However, I went through the literature. I had a hard time finding any studies on this. I think people take some medications because of these, again, antidepressants, mood stabilizers, or pain medications like corticosteroids, prednisone being the most common one. And then all of a sudden they gain weight. And if you know that person's going to gain weight as a clinician, you might say, you're most likely going to gain weight, which is interesting, especially when it comes to pain, because the extra weight might cause your problem to be worse.
Yeah.
Knee pain, back pain. Weight is not your friend when it comes to pain, musculoskeletal pain. And it might be an idea where you say, okay, I'm going to give you this and have that effect, but at the same time, I'm going to cut your appetite with this GLP-1. And I couldn't find any good literature on the topic. But I've done it myself. I've recommended it. I've had other doctors I've worked with do that as well. Absolutely effective. So if you're taking one of these medications and you're on a GLP-1 and it's working for you, ignore everything I said in the last video. It doesn't apply to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
the exception.
Yeah.
The exception. So I got a lot of phone calls on this.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions on this, which is why we're doing our oops episode right now.
Little oops. Brittany, do it again.
Oops, I did it. Do it again. Oops, I do it again.
So anyway, these are medications like Zyprexa, Risperdal, Remeron, Paxil, Elavil, Prednisone, again, dexamethasone. These types of medications, they make you hungry. And these are absolutely the exception to what we were talking about last time. On average, we're talking about people that just have gained weight and they're not on medications. And they take the GLP-1s and they don't take the time they don't take the time to figure out why they gained the weight in the first place. And I think that applies to most people. But these are the exceptions, and I want to make sure we recognized it to have everyone not feel like I'm talking down to people or saying that
I don't think
there's
they would
not
think
exceptions.
That. I don't think they would think we're talking down to people. We're just trying to help everybody out the best we can.
Yeah. Well, and not to make anybody feel guilty, like they're doing their best because they're like, oh, wow, I've been taking this prednisone, but if I don't take the GLP-1, I gained the weight like crazy. Yeah, that's an exception. In my whole last episode of what I was talking about learning something about yourself, if you're taking a medication that absolutely drives your appetite, jacks up your insulin levels and all kinds of stuff, you're going to gain weight on average. These are all known side effects to these medications. Mm-hmm. So if you can offset that, and a lot of these medications are long-term, not necessarily prednisone, but a lot of the antipsychotics, antidepressants, lithium-based medications, right? Absolutely. If you're dealing with bipolar disorders and you have this medication and you're gaining weight and you can offset it with a GLP-1, that's an absolute good idea if that works. So
Interesting.
that was the exception.
Yeah. There's always something.
There's always something. And we're learning. We're learning as we go.
Exactly.
We're just human, you know.
Well, I'm perfect. I'm just kidding.
I mean, that's what they call it, practice. That's what they call it, practice. Medicine, you know. So.
Well, I'm glad we got that topic and we got everything reassured. So you making sure we know what we're talking about.
Sometimes.
Only on Tuesdays.
That's why they call it practice.
That's so funny. Well, that's the end of our episode. We just wanted to, answer all those questions and all those people that were concerned about certain situations. And we want to thank you very much for listening to our podcast.
Oops.
I did it again.